Many of you know me from Wheeler Dealers, where we turn rusty relics into automotive gold. We've tackled everything from muscle cars to European classics, each with its own unique story and challenges. But this project? This was different. It wasn't just another car, it was a piece of history, a relic from a time long past. This was a 1907 Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, a legend whispered about in hushed tones among car enthusiasts. A car that had seen the dawn of the automotive age. A car that whispered back stories of a bygone era, of cobbled streets and top hats. It was more than just metal and rubber, it was a time capsule on wheels. A car I just had to get my hands dirty with. The allure of restoring such a masterpiece was irresistible. You see, it wasn't just about the car, it was about the history. The stories it carried, the lives it touched, and the roads it traveled. It was about taking something that once graced the world stage and bringing it back to its former glory. Restoring it to a condition that would make its original creators proud. The allure of breathing life back into this sleeping beauty was too strong to resist. Every bolt, every piece of metal, every drop of oil was a step back in time. Little did I know the adventure that awaited, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. The journey of restoration is never straightforward, but it's always worth it. Now, when I say this Silver Ghost was a barn find, I mean it. This wasn't just a car that had been forgotten in a corner of a garage. No, this was a true relic, hidden away from the world for decades. This wasn't some pampered garage queen. It had been left to the elements, to the ravages of time and nature. It was tucked away in a dusty corner of a farmer's barn, buried under decades of hay, bird nests, and what I can only describe as agricultural byproducts. The car was almost unrecognizable, a mere shadow of its former self. The first glimpse was underwhelming, to say the least. It looked like a relic from a bygone era, forgotten and forlorn. It was a skeletal frame draped in faded paint, a ghostly echo of its former grandeur. The once glorious vehicle now stood as a testament to the passage of time. Rust had eaten away at its bodywork, and the leather seats were more mouse buffet than luxury seating. The interior was a mess with torn upholstery and a musty smell that hinted at years of neglect. But beneath the neglect I saw potential, a spark waiting to be ignited. It was a diamond in the rough, a classic beauty yearning to be restored to its former glory. The challenge was immense, but the reward would be even greater. Getting this old girl back in shape was no walk in the park. It was a labor of love, a test of patience, and a true testament to our dedication to the craft. It was more like a wrestling match with a very heavy, very old, and very stubborn dance partner. Every twist and turn felt like a choreographed move in a dance we were just learning. Each nut and bolt fought us. Every part we removed seemed to crumble in our hands. The rust had become a part of the car, almost like it was holding on for dear life. I swear some of those bolts had been tightened by Hercules himself. The sheer force needed to loosen them was incredible. There were moments, I'll admit, when we questioned our sanity. We wondered if we had bitten off more than we could chew with this project. Like the time we dropped the engine, not once, but twice. It was a heart-stopping moment, but we picked ourselves up and kept going. Or when we discovered the wiring was held together by what seemed like hopes and dreams, not actual insulation. It was a miracle the car hadn't caught fire before. But hey, laughter is the best mechanic, and we had plenty of that. Despite the challenges, the camaraderie and shared jokes kept our spirits high and made the journey worthwhile. Section 4, Hunting for History. Finding parts for a car this old is like searching for pirate treasure. Exciting, frustrating, and occasionally fruitful. We scoured flea markets, online auctions, and even contacted Rolls-Royce collectors worldwide. It was amazing to think that each part we found had its own story to tell, its own journey through time. And then there were the surprises. We uncovered hidden compartments that revealed the car's original toolkit, and even a silver cigarette case engraved with the original owner's initials. It was like holding a piece of history in our hands, a tangible link to the past. Section 5. From rust bucket to silver bullet. The transformation was nothing short of miraculous. With each layer of paint stripped away, the Silver Ghost started to shed its past, revealing the beauty beneath. We hammered out dents, replaced panels, and painstakingly hand-polished every inch of the bodywork until it gleamed like a mirror. Choosing the right shade of silver was a task in itself. It had to be just right, a color that whispered elegance and whispered history all at once. And when we finally applied the finishing touches, it was like seeing a masterpiece unveiled for the first time. Section 6. The heartbeat returns. The moment of truth. After months of sweat, grease, and the occasional tear, don't judge, it was emotional. We were ready to fire up the engine. The anticipation was electric. Would it start? Would it sputter and die? Would it explode in a cloud of smoke? But as I cranked the engine, it coughed, spluttered, and then roared to life. The sound was incredible, a symphony of perfectly timed explosions. It was the sound of history coming alive, the sound of a 100-year-old promise being kept.